So how many of you guys got to see Ed Milet yesterday? Most of you guys? Well, then you're in for a real disappointment with my presentation. Let me just tell you. I'm just kidding. So really, if you guys in the back want to move up, you don't want to move up? You what? You get in trouble if you move up? So small group. I figured it'd be a small group. A lot of people are trickling around. But so what have you guys, what's your biggest takeaway been from RoofCon so far? Just kind of curious. What's the one thing that you've gotten so far? Anybody? Overwhelmed. In what way? Information overload. Okay? Are you going to be the 5%er or the 95%er when you go home? There we go. What else? Give me your biggest takeaway. Yeah. Solo 401k. I heard some good information about that. So you don't want to own anything. You want to run everything through your business, right? Pay your business. What else? I like it. So typically before, I think in the trades, it wasn't always that way. It was people competing against each other, not wanting others to get ahead. So I feel also like you, with the roofing.com group, the Revolt group, this RoofCon, people are intently interested in helping you grow your business. Would you agree? Who have you connected with the best so far? Ed was awesome, wasn't he? Any of you guys get to go to the meet and greet with him? Amazing. I had to leave a little bit early, but it was really good. What about you guys in the back? What's been your biggest takeaway? So just confirmation that you guys are building and running your business correctly? Where are you guys based out of? Connecticut. I'm an East Coaster too, Virginia Beach. Anybody else from the East Coast? No? More Midwest and West Coast guys? All right. How about you guys? What's been your biggest takeaway from RoofCon so far? I'm putting you right on the spot. Wasn't that amazing? Like just the Happy Meal story. I was like, my God, how did we all miss that? We're in the happiness business. No matter what we do, our job is to, he talked about painting pictures and correlating that into happiness. And then one of the other things I really gathered was if you seem more confident about what you're talking about, the other person will tend to more believe you. So that was really good. So we're going to talk a little bit about, any of you guys see the RYNO presentation yesterday that Chris did? Okay, so it's going to be a lot of the same, but most of you guys, maybe you didn't. Since it's a more intimate crowd, we'll have some time for Q&A. If at any time you have any questions, just kind of raise your hand since it's a small group. But we'll talk about marketing. We'll talk about some of the differentiators. Anyone ever thought about or interested in selling their business eventually? So I got a couple guys, right? So we'll talk about how this ties into scaling your business to make sure you get the best multiplier. So we're going to go ahead and get started. So this is how to track, scale, or sell your business. Are any of you guys familiar with Gary Vee? Who said yes? Gary Vaynerchuk, right? So one of the most famous social media marketers out there right now. He owns a group called the Sasha Group. His big goal in life is to buy the New York Jets. So he's now into the sports business as well, sports agent. So he signed, bless you, signed a lot of great talent coming up. So we have a giveaway at our booth. If you want to win, we're giving away 2 30-minute Zoom sessions with Gary. So if you've ever wanted to meet a celebrity, sit down and talk about your business, ask him questions, just stop by our booth right when you walk in. Have you guys seen the big Camp RYNO? You guys are so enthusiastic this morning. It's actually the afternoon, I think, right? You know what I'm saying, right? Come on. When it's small, you guys have to give me the energy, not the other way around. So I apologize. It is. What did you eat? Pizza. Okay. Is that what it was? And if you look down, I'm going to call on you. Like in school, remember? Like, what's 17 times 12? teacher calls on you. So if you look down, I'm going to call on you. So you should just eyeball me, right? But so we'll talk about that. So if you want to stop by the booth right when you walk in, we've got the big Camp RYNO. The team will take care of you. All you have to do, we don't need any information from you. You just fill out your raffle ticket, throw it in the thing, and then we're going to do a drawing for 2 30-minute sessions with Gary Vee. I promise you, if you pulled those away, it would be like sitting with Ed Milet in person. Gary Vee is phenomenal. So today we're going to talk about setting yourself apart, right? How do you do that in the marketplace? How you've got to be tracking. How many of you guys have an intricate tracking system in your business? Don't lie. Everyone's going to raise their hand and go, we do. Right? You guys in the back? Nope? Okay. So that's a lot of times where people fall down. Like they know their business is either doing well, it's not doing well, and they're basing it on feelings. So we're going to talk about tracking. We're going to talk about lead reporting. All of you guys, if you're doing marketing or if you're doing your own marketing, do you have a dashboard where you're tracking your leads? Anyone doing that? Guys in the back? Okay. You guys in the front? No? It's okay. Kinda? You're sure. How to track print. So we didn't talk about that yesterday in our presentation. We're going to talk about that today. How to fix the gap with your FMS. Anyone know what FMS is? Come on, you guys are the roofers, not me. Your field management software, right? So we'll talk about that. And then, how many of you guys have CSRs, customer service representatives, answering the phone that are not you? Couple. How many of you guys wish you had people other than you answering the phone? Okay, the rest of you guys like answering the phone at 12 o'clock at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, right? All right, so we'll talk about how we hold our CSRs accountable and how we can turn that into revenue. And then we'll know our market competitors. Did any of you guys see that data that we put up yesterday? So you were in here, I know. So we'll talk about that. So I'm going to talk about RYNO just for a little bit. We've been in the trades for 14 years. So we have been primarily in the HVAC, plumbing, and electrical space. We've gotten into roofing recently. And the good news that we found out is what we knew is the way that you do marketing for plumbers, electricians, HVAC contractors is really the same way that you do them for roofers, garage door companies, service companies in general. So again, we've been around. We partner with a lot of companies. We partner with Gary Vee. We've got hundreds of customers throughout the United States and Canada. So that's kind of who we are. Why we're here, we really have a passion for the trades. One of the things that we have seen in the industry over the last 14 years is the tradesperson is good at what they do, but they're not always good at marketing for a lot of reasons. Either they don't have the knowledge, right? Because you guys fix roofs or you install gutters or you put in siding. We wouldn't expect you to be great at digital marketing. Or if you do have the knowledge, you don't have the what. What's the other piece that you're probably not going to have? Time. My namesake Jeff, right? That's right. From Maryland. Philadelphia. Philadelphia, born and raised. On the playground, is that where you spent most of your days? Anyone remember that? All right. So that's what we don't have is time. And it's just like, when you're trying to run your business, if you're up on a roof, what are you not doing? Running your business, right? So we're going to talk about that. That's why we're here. We have a passion to help you move your business forward, not only through digital marketing, but through different tips and tactics and things like that. So again, I run sales for our company and our partnerships with RYNO. So we are partners with a lot of different companies that want to do business with us, whether it's field management softwares, manufacturers, OEMs, things like that. So we've been in the trades again for a long time. We've got 130, which we'll get into here in a second. We're based out of Phoenix, Arizona, as I talked about in 2008. We only do business with the trades. So if you're with the company, I always hear a couple different things from people. I've got a guy or I've got a girl. Well, you don't need a person, you need a marketing team, right? And that's what we are. So we're focused on the trades. That's all that we do. We have 130, give or take, RYNOs. Half of those people listen to phone calls all day long. Do you know why they do that? Anyone have an idea why we listen to the phone calls that you guys have coming into your website? Somebody's got to know. What's your name? Rob. Where are you based out of? Okay. Okay. A lot of great things that we're looking for. What else could we be looking for? How about conversions, right? Is the CSR able to convert those over? We know the phone's ringing, but we feel like business is slow. Is it working? Do we have a issue where we need to go back and retrain the CSR? RYNO does that. One of the things in the tracking, if you were here yesterday, is we're providing all that information because you might have to go back or we might have to do it for you and retrain your CSR. Because nothing worse than bringing in phone calls and not being able to convert them over because, as Chris talked about yesterday, your CSR makes probably the least amount in the company, right? They might not be as concerned about that lead as you are as the business owner. Is that correct? So we're going to talk about that. Another really cool thing is we've got a 92% customer retention rate. Why is that important? We really take care of our customers and they're long-term with us. So, we typically work with companies that are looking for long-term relationships that don't want another vendor in their pocket that they have to manage, but really want a partnership. Anyone have plenty of vendors that drive them crazy? Just you? All of you guys, right? Trust me, the vendors with RYNO drive me crazy, so I understand, right? Because they're always calling at inopportune times with things I don't want to talk about that are not moving my business forward. Is that how you feel? Yeah. So that's not us. We're partners with all of our clients, and they stay with us for a long time. All of our services are in-house. That's super important. A lot of people do websites, SEO, PPC, all those things, but we do them in-house. So for all of our clients, we intently have a relationship with them, and our in-house team understands them. And then we talked about the partnership with Gary Vaynerchuk. We're a Google Premier partner. We're a service provider on LSA, so we do all of those things. Google service ads, all of that stuff. Again, 130 RYNOs, so there's some of us based out in Phoenix. So some of the people, again, we're just getting into the roofing space, but here's some folks that we work with. Anyone in Vegas, in the Vegas area? Midwest at all? Gettle, have you heard of Gettle by any chance? So Gettle's out in Phoenix and Vegas. They're about a $600 million HVAC plumbing electrical company, so they're a company that we work with. Peterman, they're out in Indiana. Anyone from the Hoosier State? Besides one person from RYNO that works with us. Where are you guys all from? So shout out where you're from. St. Louis. I used to live I'm a Cardinals fan through and through. Blues, Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals. Kansas City. Do you guys know each other? You maybe should, right? How about you? Born in Colorado Springs at the Air Force Base. Springfield, Missouri. A couple Missouri people and Kansas City. You guys should be networking, right? Do you know each other? Okay. Joppa, we talked yesterday. Houston, Texas. We got a lot of customers in Dallas-Fort Worth. You should talk to Elliot Weber. I think he's in here today. He will take care of you. So we already said where you're from, Jeff, again. Where are you guys from? Pensacola. Kansas? Another Kansas person, right? Orlando, okay. You guys, where were you from again? Connecticut, that's right. New Haven? Okay. Iowa, all right. Hawkeye? All right, not Iowa State? Iowa State, all right. We have somebody that from RYNO that lives in Iowa. She's a Hawkeye. So I now understand the relationship between Hawkeye. I went to the University of Virginia, so we have the same relationship against Virginia Tech. So totally get it. Dallas. Same, okay. All right. So a lot of companies that we work with, a lot of manufacturers, a lot of OEMs. Did you guys see this yesterday? Ambition without action is useless. Why is that important? Why are you guys all here? To get better. To do what? To take action. So we talked about the 95-5 rule yesterday. Anyone remember what that was? You remember what that was? "95% of the people that come to conferences like this come back and do nothing. They have all these great ideas. They talk to people here, and guess what they do? Yeah, I'm going to be busy when I get back. Let's talk in a couple weeks." And we know what's going to happen. We're going to get back. Our kids are going to bug us. Our spouses are going to bug us, and we're going to start making excuses, right? So you want to make sure that whatever you do, for me, when I come to things like this, I try to take one thing because we're overwhelmed with information, right? What do we do? Like, we got 17 good informations on how to run our business. Which one do we pick? Pick one. Pick one. So, how do you set yourself apart? So we talked about this yesterday. ROI, your return on influence. People buy what you do, then buy why you do it. One of the things I picked up from Ed yesterday was, again, we sell what? Happiness. Man, that was a revelation to me. I was like, if we could just paint the picture of what someone's looking for, stay out of the weeds, right? Have you ever had a homeowner just take you all over the weeds and you're like, this isn't even important? Like, this is not even important. Anyone ever had that? How do you bring them back out of the weeds? No, that was a real question to you. How? Right? And here's what it will do for you. It's not how much it costs, right? It's not how we're going to put the roof on. Here's what it's going to do for you. And if we don't do that for you, how is your life going to change? For better or worse, right? If we don't do this thing for you, which will provide happiness, how is your life going to change? Who cares how much it costs, right? What difference does it make? We're talking about your happiness. So that was really telling for me. We talked yesterday about the 4 Ps of setting yourself apart. So we've got product, as you can see here, roofer, right? You would think this would be, easy, that we would all know this, but I've looked at so many websites for people that wanted some advice here. I didn't know what they did. Like, they showed me their website, they came into our booth. I didn't know what they did. So very clearly here, No Bull Roofing, we got Fayetteville Roofer, and then we've got the place, obviously. So Tulsa, Oklahoma, surrounding areas. We've got Fayetteville, North Carolina here. I'm assuming it's Fayetteville, North Carolina. It could be Arkansas. But we've clearly defined the place. You might think that that's self-explanatory. It's not. So when the user who is trying to consume content is coming on, they need to understand that as well. So we talked about price. Price is very controversial for contractors, I know. We believe that there's probably a movement to people want information, they want it quick, and they really don't even want to call you anymore. Who has chat function on their website? Chat, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't have it in the back, you need to have it. My kids, 14 and 17. Anyone have kids in that age? Do they like to use the phone? They do, but what don't they like to do with the phone? Talk. My 17-year-old is a foodie, kind of like me, and she really likes for us to go out. And so the other day I said, Lindsay, why don't you call and make reservations for us at our favorite restaurant? She goes, do you mean and talk to somebody? I'm like, yes, like call the person and say, we've got 4 people and we'd like to go out to eat. And she said, no, I couldn't do that. So had they had a online reservation system that she could have gone on and done that, she's a whiz at that. But the newer generation, out of fear, out of they don't want to, they're just a little bit lazier maybe, I don't know, but they don't want to talk. So you have to have that gateway into your store where people can communicate with you that way. So if you don't, that's one big thing that you can differentiate yourself is you've got to have a chat function, right? Whether it rolled to an email, whether it rolled to your cell phone, and then you've got to capture that data as well. So we've talked about that. We've got promotion. So we can see how they're promoting their businesses here. So if your website doesn't convert, I've seen so many websites that either someone's designed, a company's designed, and they're not set up to convert at all. They're really set up to confuse the the prospect that is, Googling you, looking for specific information, and then you're taking them to a generic page. So you've got to make sure that the promotion that the intent of the Google user, right, is matching up with your promotion. All right, so I'm going to pass through this real quick. Anyone see this commercial from yesterday?
Ship my pants. Right here? Ship my pants, you're kidding.
You can ship your pants right here.
You hear that? I can ship my pants for free.
Wow, I just may ship my pants.
Yeah, ship your pants. Billy, you can ship your pants too.
I can't wait to ship my pants, Dad.
I just shipped my pants, and it's very convenient.
Very convenient.
I just shipped my drawers.
I just shipped my nightie.
I just shipped my bed.
If you can't find what you're looking for in store, we'll find it at Kmart.com right now and ship it to you for free.
So does anyone remember that campaign? Anyone old enough like me to remember that campaign? Nobody remember? Okay, one, couple. Man, that was like one of the most famous campaigns that Kmart went on the offensive with. Do you guys know why they did that? No? No? Two, yes, part of Walmart and then Target. They were hemorrhaging stores, right? Walmart had really started to become super prevalent, right? And Target, as the women say, right? And you can't go into Target. How much do you spend in Target? I don't even know. I go in for like a pack of gum with my girls, and we spend $500 when we come out of Target. But really, it was too late at that point, right? But one of the most famous campaigns. And why do you do those type of things? Because emotion drives action, right? Anyone remember like the big Wendy's campaign? Where's the beef? I must be like the only old one in here. No one else remembers any of this stuff. Anyone remember Where's the Beef? There you go. You guys in the Midwest, like that's Beef Central, right? In Kansas and St. Louis. But it spurred an emotion, right? And those things spur emotion. So, setting yourself apart. Complacency has no vacancy, as we talked about before. We've got to work on scale, and then we're going to talk about sell. So, what you must be tracking to know your real numbers and hold your marketing company accountable. Does anyone really hold their marketing company accountable? Is that you, Tom? What's going on, brother? Another Floridian, right? There we go. So you've got to have who has specific call tracking numbers for whatever campaign they run? Print, digital, billboards. 1, 2, are you sure? Okay. Okay. Was it beneficial? Okay. So many didn't work at all. There you go. And then the other piece, so we talked about a little bit yesterday, was the human being aspect, right? We believe it's super important that live human beings listen to the phone calls coming in, because a lot of times, people will think we're doing really well, but half of the leads coming into your website, because you're not doing marketing that great, are your current customers and your referrals. If you've got a yard sign or your wraps or anything that you're doing besides your marketing. So it's super important that people are listening to those phone calls, so we can tell for each campaign that you're running, whether, let's say that you're running a repair campaign or an install campaign or whatever it is, and then by city, we have to know, is it working, right? Because again, your business could be slow, but your marketing working. Your marketing could be working and your business could be booming too, but you have to understand. I've seen people all the time, business owners, that business is slow, but the marketing is really the only thing working, and they cut their marketing. What do you think happens to their business after that? Slowly dies. And all because they didn't understand where their business was coming from. It's an investment, right? So what must you be tracking and holding your marketing company accountable for? Obviously your website, right? So the website's got to be designed correctly, aesthetically pleasing. It's got to have conversion pages set up. You really have to be advertising to each individual city that you're trying to do business in. Schema is a big thing, so if you want to Google something really cool, SCHEMA, that's really a new cool thing. But your website. A lot of people get really caught up in how their website looks. Like, oh, that blue's pretty, that yellow's ugly. But it's really about your SEO, right? So your SEO that ties into it. How the conversions are done, because Google doesn't have any eyes. It only has tentacles to look and see if your website is optimized correctly. So that's important. Your pay-per-click campaigns. Who runs pay-per-click currently? Just 2 of you guys? Okay. You guys are all the same company though, right? Oh, you're separated right there. Okay. So where are you guys from in the gray? Oh, you're all the same. Okay, sorry. I thought you were saying we're separate. Separate company. Are you competing against each other? No, that guy's like, no. So pay-per-click again. How many people run a pay-per-click? Tom, you run a pay-per-click? Only brand, okay. So we'll talk about pay-per-click and how you hold social. Who's running social ads? So a couple of you guys. Who's having pretty good success? Facebook, yep. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you consider social. Who's having 0 success? Tom, thank you for being honest. So we talked about chat earlier. Anyone know what LSA is? What is it, Tom? Local service ads, right? Google Guaranteed. Who's Google Guaranteed in the room? I love you guys. You guys are on it in the back. I'm going to have to go learn some stuff from you guys. Who else? In the process? How far along in the process are you? Okay. If you're not Google Guaranteed, you need to get Google Guaranteed. There's one thing that you can take away if you're not. And then who tracks their CSRs? Their customer service reps. Tom, you guys? What are some of your key indicators that you're looking at with your CSRs? Give me one. Location? Tell me a little bit more. Got it. So kind of the clover leaf philosophy. If we get one, we want to get the other ones on the street, in the neighborhood, okay? What else? What are some other things that you hold your customer service people that are answering the phone accountable for? If you don't, that's okay. You should be. Number of bookings, right? So do you have a conversion percentage, calls to bookings, right? Which is then, of course, you track your revenue on top of that. So anyone that doesn't do that, okay? I would venture to say that most people probably don't have good CSR tracking, but we don't want to raise our hands. I could be wrong, but that's something that we help. So we even have a CSR coach and business coach at RYNO that if we notice things with our clients and saying, hey, look, we're generating all these calls for you, you have 2 issues. 1, you're not answering the phone, so you lost that lead. And 2, your CSRs don't even know what to say. Did you even train them? Because they say something different every time. So, what are you going to expect? Monthly reporting, you got to have 24/7 access to your reporting, your dashboard. You should own everything. The company should never be, the company that you're working with should never hold that over your head. Are there some people that don't have 24/7 access to the reporting? Do you have any reporting yet? Okay, that makes sense, right? Just getting started, I know. So everyone has access to the reporting. Anyone not understand their reporting? Okay. Kinda, right? It's confusing, right? We talked about the human call listener. Anyone know that what their cost per lead is down to the penny? That's important. How could you do marketing and not know what it costs Because how many of you guys are going to be adding salespeople in the coming 6, 12, 18 months as you grow your business? Absolutely. How are you going to know how many leads that they need and what it's going to cost you, and how do you build that into your business plan if you're not holding your marketing company accountable to know what it costs to drive that lead in? Does that make sense? It's important. Scrub leads by service, like we talked about yesterday. Got to know, is that a install call? Is that a service call? Because I'd much rather be doing installs than running service calls all day. So I need to know my marketing, where it's going and how it's working. Your return on investment, like we talked about. Does anyone not answer their phone like after 6 or 7 o'clock at night? You do not, okay? Anyone else? You guys do not? Who answers the phone if someone calls at 7:30 at night? You guys do? You text them? Do you have any automatic software set up saying, hey, we're a little busy, but we'll call you right back on text? There's a lot of really great softwares out there right now. We called a company looking for a service, and man, they sent us like 5 texts like in the first 10 minutes. It was awesome. So I felt like they were on it. Just a thought. You guys answer your phone 24/7? Anyone else not answer their phone 24/7? If you don't, that lead, you just paid for it and it's going to your competitor. So lead tracking by marketing source. Does everyone know where, you talked about running several different campaigns, but does everyone know where each dollar's coming from each marketing campaign? The only way that you can do that, you said no? The only way you can do that is through what? Distinct call tracking numbers. Do you guys use call tracking numbers in your business? You do. Do you guys have access to the dashboard? Is another company doing that? How are you tracking it? Don't understand it completely. Okay. So you need a marketing team to help walk you through that, right, and give you advice. Okay? We talked about this yesterday. A new customer, can we all agree on this, is a bookable repair or replacement lead that was not a past customer. So here's another thing, understanding marketing. A lot of companies will say, well, you had 1,700 people visit your website, but if they weren't new customers, we have to understand and scrub those out because they're not going to count on your return on investment. Are all of you guys adept at that and understanding and scrubbing out what comes in to count as new and what comes in as referral? Yes. Okay, good. Anyone not? So everyone's great at that. All right. So here's one of the things that we do for our customers. Obviously, I've taken out the business name and the logo and stuff, but we've got to know how many visits are coming into the website. What's your conversion rate? What's your cost per lead? Like when you book a job, how much does it cost? Because as we talked about, you guys all said, I'm adding salespeople. Well, if you need the salesperson to sell X amount of dollars, we have to back that down and go, well, how many leads based on that conversion rate is the salesperson going to need? Well, based on that, how much is it going to cost me as a business owner to generate for Bob to run 12 leads a week to sell 2 roofs? So this is super important. We'll scrub out, as you can see, all the calls that came in. We only take credit for the ones, 500 calls that we generated. So it's super important that you understand that. We talked a little bit about this yesterday again, the number of visits, the calls that they get. We break them down: gutters, installation, miscellaneous. Look at that, 44 missed calls. I will tell you, all you guys said you answer the phone 24 hours a day. Every contractor I see that we deal with, missed calls galore. Missed calls galore. So if you're not answering the phone directly, I'd be curious because every contractor we see missed calls. Now, this guy does, gutters, install, roofing, siding, everything. How much revenue do you think is tied up in 44 missed calls? What do you guys think? Over 500 calls over a year? Could it be hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of dollars? That's super important. If you're a business owner and you're really not monitoring the phone, if your marketing company is not telling you that, think about all the lost opportunities, especially when you're new, right? You're going to be busy being an operator. You might not be on top of the phone all the time. You might have somebody doing that. Well, if you're not knowing what they're saying, what their conversion is, if they're answering the phone, you could be missing out on millions of dollars. And in the beginning, you're bleeding money to begin with anyway. So you don't want to bleed it on your marketing side. So we want to make sure we scrub that tracking report out. If you don't have something like this, I would recommend that you get something like this, either through a marketing company yourself, but this is super important. And I'm going to run through the next couple. I'm going to run through the field because we're approaching time here. So what we've seen people, make huge leaps. So some of the things that you can do today is these missed opportunities. Like when you leave today, I guarantee you now that you've seen some of this stuff, there's missed opportunities in your marketing, which is going to help you increase your sales. At the end of the day, you guys are concerned about gross margin at the end, right? So all of these things, running a specific marketing campaign, understanding the dollars to campaign to conversions, that's going to increase your profitability. Again, booking rate. Other than Tom, does everyone know what every CSR's booking rate is? And then per campaign. Like if it's roofing, if it's solar, gutters, siding, windows, do you know what each CSR does and what their booking rate is? If you don't, you should. Because if you're spending money to run those campaigns and you don't know what their conversion, you're just throwing that money away. Is there anyone not doing that could go back today and go, I'm going to take a deeper dive into that? Guys in the back, okay. Again, booking rate per service. It's important. How much does the lead cost to get for a repair? How much revenue does it drive? Conversely, how much does an install lead cost, right? And what revenue does it drive? You need to know that per service and even down to per city. Because a lot of you guys, you do business in multiple cities, right? So with your dashboard, you should be tracking every single city that you guys do business in, every campaign down to the nickel. So cost per lead. So I'm gonna go past print right now. And so if you're not training your CSRs, you're failing them, you're failing your business. We talked about some of the things. I'm gonna kind of stop here because we're pretty much out of time. And I'm going to let you guys ask any questions that you have. I always love that guy's meme, too. Did it make you laugh? I don't know why. It makes me happy, like Ed Milet happy. So I'm going to let you guys ask some questions. We talked about a lot of things, conversions, understanding your campaigns, the investment that you're making in your campaigns, your website, your SEO, your PPC, all that good stuff. So I'm going to let you guys, we'll end with a couple questions. And if you don't, it's just going to be really awkward for like 30 seconds. Yes? Yep. Okay. So you've never done any advertising before. That's great. So it's not great, but it's great. So the purpose of doing Google advertising, right? We're really talking about websites, SEO, PPC, Google guarantee ads. They don't have a firm in mind, right? They don't have a roofing company in mind, gutters, siding, remodeling. So that's who we're going after. So you could have never done advertising before, but a couple places you need to start. You need to have a good optimized website, right? For mobile, for tablet, and desktop. Some of you guys, if you're not sure if your website is optimized, and I bet almost every website I've seen from everyone stop by our booth is not. So I would say that's the first thing. If you're interested, and I'm going to show you a QR code, we will do an analysis in your city and show you a couple different things. Is your website optimized, right? Is it organically optimized? Is it pleasing to Google? And then we'll show you in 3 cities of your choice who the top competitors are from an organic standpoint, from a pay-per-click standpoint, and from a map section. So I'm going to get down to that here, but so we can help you with those ideas, provide the conversion data for you guys. We'll pull all the Google searches, what's available in your marketplace, because then that will determine what do I need to do in the market? What is the market showing me is available for searches from roofing, gutter, siding, whatever you're looking for, so we can provide all of that for you. If you're interested, you can scan this QR code. We're not here to sell you anything. We'll just email you the information. Again, you can just scan that. We'll look at your website. We'll send you what your organic ranking is. Do you have a website? Just stop. You need to talk to Elliot in the back. He can help you and point you in the right direction. But if you're interested, send that. You'll put your 3 top cities that you're interested in your competitors. So you guys might come up against each other in your same city there. But put your 3 top cities. We will send you that information, who the competitors are there on Google. And then we'll also give you your website analysis as well. And then if you're interested in talking further, we can do that too. But just scan that code, and we will get right back to you probably next week. So great question. What else? A couple more. Yes. Yeah. That's a really great question. So a lot of splinters answers to that. You could be a small company that not cares about a company's growth as well. So, but I do like that question. In my personal opinion, even though we're 130 people, so we're not like the biggest company in the entire world, we're a family-owned company. We care, like every customer. We have customers that are $1 million in revenue annually. We have customers that are $500 million annually. I can tell you from our perspective, we don't treat any of them different or feel any differently about any of them. So sometimes smaller companies also don't have the scalability and bandwidth to really build out a strong campaign. So there's some pros and cons each way. I know the way that we're set up is we have an SEO team, a design team, a development team, a social team. Everyone is segmented. So I believe that's a pretty good thing for us because I'm not an expert at everything, right? And sometimes with smaller companies, and you guys know this from running your own business, they're collecting the bills, they're doing collections of the customers not paying, they're trying to do customer service, they're trying to do the roofs, the repairs, everything. It's tough, right? So there's something to be said for the smallness and the boutiqueness of the caring. But what I like is a company that can do both, that cares about you, but that can scale you as well. That help? Really great question. Thank you. A couple more questions. Yes, sir. Great question. Man after my own heart. How much does it cost, right? It's all about money. It's all about happiness, right? And money makes me happy, so I think we're like, do we just become best friends? All right. So it depends. What we are focused on as a company, and this is not, I'm just saying in general, this is my philosophy, is what your expectations are and what your budget are, we want to make sure they're aligned. So we have some companies, obviously, that spend a lot of money. Our $20 million companies they do much more marketing than our $1 million companies, and we're okay either way. So what we would like to do is, if you can spend more, we'll talk about your strategy. If you can spend less, it'll be a little bit about today's strategy, but it'll be about growth as well. So I think that goes into, we care. Like, we're not just here to talk about how much it costs, right? What difference does it make how much it costs if we're gonna grow that revenue for you? But it's affordable, right? It's affordable. But it really is based on, we always tell customers, we don't care what it costs. We just care that the cost lines up with your expectation, and then we can deliver on that expectation. Is that fair? Like how I didn't answer that? Could be $10, could be $10 million. It is affordable, right? And then some people don't take advantage of everything. They only start in small segments. Like, you're just starting out, you might just do a website. Someone might do a website in SEO. Someone might do a website in PPC or just social. So there's some different aspects, but it's pretty affordable. But what we want to talk about with the tracking is the ROI behind it, right? We want to show you what that dollar could bring you back. Really great question. What else? Yes. How do you balance performance with fulfillment? I love that. Anyone have fulfillment challenges in their business? No contractors have fulfillment challenges? Come on. So we need to make sure as a business that we are in tune with all of our clients. So we go through a very rigorous onboarding process where when you come on board with our company, and I'm sure other companies might do this, you have your own specific account manager, right? So they're speaking your language, they understand your business, they're intently involved with you and only you. They have other clients, but they're handling your account. So we don't pass you around. They essentially form as your project manager within the company. So they're going back to the other ends of the company, managing what you need, and then drawing it all up for you. So fulfillment's always fun, man. Because clients hear leads, and so we need to fulfill on that. So fulfillment, we take it very seriously. We have a strenuous onboarding process where every product that you have with our company, we have a meeting specifically for that. We don't intertwine them. We don't talk about other things. It's that. So fulfillment's super important to us. And you guys know this, if a customer's not happy in the beginning, they're never going to be happy. Yes, and they're going to be a pain. So fulfillment's super important. One last question? Yes. Either. Great question. So if you do marketing with a company like ours or anyone, do you have to use our numbers, or can you use your numbers, maybe from your field management software or whatever? You can use your own. If you use ours, they're portable because they're not ours. We're getting them from a company. So you're able to take those with you. I remember the days I started in print yellow pages many, many, many years ago. And when that remote call forwarding number, don't laugh, I'm that old. So when that number was, you know what that is? Anyone not know what print yellow pages is? Come on. So when that number was gone, it was gone, right? So nowadays we're much more sophisticated. So if you do it with us, it's very nominal charge, and you can take it with you. You can port it. A lot of customers, I'd say 50-50, have their own numbers, either through their field management software or just numbers that they've gotten. So either or, we're good with that. We're going to point them in the same place to your main number anyway. Really great question. Again, if you guys are interested, scan this. Give us your 3 cities. We'll pull all the data for you, see who your competitors are, see how you rank. I think you guys, after lunch coma, I know. I haven't eaten lunch, so I'm going to go try to do that at some point today. But thank you guys very much. Come see us by the booth. Register for the Gary V tickets. Go fill out your thing. 30 minutes with Gary V. Thank you guys very much.